GM, GM. Today's lesson is on asking questions. Been meaning to do this one for a while, and every now and then a student reminds me, why don't you do a daily lesson to cover what constitutes a good question? How to ask Michael questions in a better way, guidance on how you guys can ask questions so that I'm not seeing the same repeated stuff over and over and over again. The reason why it's taken me a while to do this is because I don't actually mind. So, there's a couple elements to it. I actually think it's more important for the rest of the campus. It's more important for the other students that you consider your question really deeply before you ask it. Because I'm used to getting a lot of repetitive questions. And I know that everybody starts somewhere. And I know that every new student can't read the entire campus history before asking me a question. And I know that some people are going to ask me a question that's been asked a million times before, but you don't do it out of spite. You do it because you're curious. But it must get annoying for you guys to hear the same things over and over and over and over again being asked. So there are some guidelines of what you can do to better ask questions if you're going to ask them on my live streams, like the Ask Michael live streams, or if you're going to ask in the Ask Prof Michael channel. More so for the live streams, because like I said, I don't mind giving you advice even if it's something I've answered 100 times. I do want to make sure that on the streams that other students are not having to hear the same stuff get repeated over and over again, and that we're essentially wasting everyone's time. So first of all, if you have a question, make sure you've completed the first 2 modules in my campus. Far and away, this is the number one thing I see that gets missed. When you join the campus, to unlock the majority of the campus, you have to do what's in the Start Here channel. It's very simple. You have to complete the Foundation and the Start Here, 2 modules within the Learning Centre. Then you do a campus introduction quiz, and that gives you a role. That role is the committed students role. Then you open up a lot of the campus. Those short lessons will answer most of the FAQs, and you'll notice there is also an FAQ section. So if you go to courses, you go to Start Here, you will see beginner FAQs, where I answer stuff like how much money you need to start, can you trade part-time, do you want to be a full-time trader, and so on. And there is also an FAQ library. I think this doesn't get used enough. If you click on the FAQ library, it has all of the most frequently asked questions. Things like, where are the signals? Can I start trading with real money? Where can I ask for help? And so on and so on and so on. So check that out, because your question is almost certainly answered in there. And if it's not, feel free to ask me. Now, if you are asking something and you think that it is something that will have been answered already, use the chats. If you ask in the noob chat or the beginner help chat, one of my very helpful captains or chat mods or another student will link you almost instantly to the correct answer. So there's a lot of stuff that gets repeated over and over and over again whenever people join the campus. How do I navigate to here? How do I get this role? What is boot camp? How do I unlock this channel? How do I get this indicator Michael's talking about? All of that stuff has been answered hundreds of times. The best way of doing it is to go to beginner help or noob chat and ask in there. Somebody will get back to you right away. The next thing you can do to improve the flow of the campus is use the Ask a Captain channel. So the channel Ask a Captain is super, super, super useful because all of my captains and my chat mods, that's upwards of 20 extra people, are in there answering questions. I'm one person, they're 20. If it's a question very specifically for me, and it's something that you want an answer from me on because it seems like it's a unique situation, maybe it's a personal thing, maybe it's something that you want advice, about, ask me. But for most other things, you'll get a faster answer in Ask a Captain because there's 20 people. You will always get an answer from me. I never miss a message. I never ignore a message. But you will get a quicker answer if it's something, let's call it more basic or more simple. But if you have something like, Michael, I have this situation with work, or I have this situation with my big goals, or I have this situation with my trading, and I want you to advise me, 100% ask me. And for that, you then use the Ask Prof Michael channel, or you ask me live on stream. If you're in boot camp, which you should be, it's the best way to go through my campus. As a white belt, you can ask me a question in boot camp, Ask Michael. This is another way. This is probably the last part I'll cover. When you're asking questions specifically, make sure it is directly related to what you're doing and it's in the right channel. So if you've got a question about white belt, blue belt, or any of the boot camp stuff, put it into the boot camp Ask Michael channel. That helps me to give you the correct answer at the right time and see it faster. Then, as a white belt, every Wednesday, there's a live stream called White Belt Wednesday, which you should know about. You can ask me a question in Bootcamp Ask Michael at any point on Wednesday, and I'll answer it on that stream live. You can also watch the recording, which is always posted after. If you have questions for me that you want to ask me on a regular stream, I do Ask Michael live multiple times per week, and I have casual Fridays and many streams during the week where I do Q&A. I will put an announcement out, so make sure you've got announcements, notifications on for the campus and for the trading announcements channel. 1 hour before each stream, I will open up that channel and you can go in, ask me a question, and I'll close the channel at the start of the stream and then I'll answer it live. So if you want to get a question answered by me on the live, that's how to do it. If you want an answer for a question about bootcamp, that's how you do it. I just explained. If you want a question to get answered about anything generally trading related, it's best to go to the Ask a Captain channel or the Noob chat. And if you've got a technical problem like you can't open a channel or the roles are missing or whatever, go to beginner help. And outside of that, that's it. Just make sure you think about, okay, what are the odds that this question I'm about to ask has already been asked in the campus? For most questions, it's nearly 100%. So you'll be able to find the answer quicker by just dropping it into a chat. If all of that is done and you still think it needs to come to me, drop it over to me and I'm happy to answer it. GM.